Hello, hello. Welcome for another episode of the Author Spotlight. This is where your main man, Darren Palmer, the host with the most, that I'm able to listen and glean from those who are making a difference locally and globally, going behind the scenes with best-selling authors. We have a wonderful young lady on the day. Miss Kim Gagné is in the building, people. But before I let her come on in, I just want to share a little bit about Miss Kim. She's the two-time National Daytime Emmy winner. Kim Gagné is a veteran news, talk, reality, and court TV show producer. Gagné earned Emmy Awards for NBC. And help me out with that, Miss Kim. What was that other daytime talk show that you won one for?
Oh, both of them were for the Steve Harvey Talk Show.
All right, then. I just wanted to make sure I had it right. I didn't want people saying Darren was just throwing stuff on there, man. I just, I'll let y'all know who we got. I'll let y'all know who we got on the show today. In addition to producing the Steve Harvey Talk Show for 4 seasons, Gagné executive produced Harvey's Neighborhood Awards for 6 years. The Neighborhood Awards was a 30,000 plus 4-day weekend in Las Vegas filled with comedy shows, exhibits, celebrities, and musical concerts hosted by Harvey. Before working with Harvey, Gagné worked in television news for 13 years and produced on 2 nationally syndicated court TV shows, Texas Justice and Judge Alex. Gagné was named one of Houston's top 30 influential women and has 2 Lone Star Awards and a Regional Emmy for her documentary, High Notes, A Journey Home. Gagné transitioned from television to public relations, marketing, and producing special events with her company, Maxthatcommunications. I just want to welcome the one and only Kim Gagné. Welcome to the show.
Man, I feel like a crowd should be.
Take it back to the Arsenio Hall show so much.
I know. How are you? Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah, it's afternoon now, but it might be morning somewhere, so you never know. You never know. But Miss Kim, I thank you so much for coming on to the show. I have to ask you, because with your background, I know others are wondering the same thing. Why this book, How to Win? Because you could have went in so many directions. What made you write How to Win?
Well, How to Win came about really because my husband was really telling me over and over, you really have a good story. You have a great story that you should tell that could actually help, especially women in television business. And he just kind of kept on with it. Then you kept on with it. So I'm like, okay. And then, but once I got started, it just kind of all really started to flow. And it was like, you know what? I do have a story to tell. And it ironically, Gagné in French means to win. So that's how we came up with the title. So it all really flowed from encouragement from my husband and you, that I had a story to tell and that it might help somebody else in the business, and it might just give somebody else an idea that they too have a story to tell and they should tell it.
And when I think about that, Miss Gagné, I think about, because I know somebody is listening to this and they thinking to themselves, now, wait a minute. I know people who don't have a resume nowhere close to Kim's, and they have written a book. So why in the world would Kim hesitate or wonder if she had something to share and have to wait on a husband or Darren or somebody else to say something? And I'm just sharing, it doesn't matter how many accolades you have or, what's your title or how many degrees you have. So my grandma would say you can have more degrees than a thermometer. That doesn't matter. All of us have to go through this metamorphosis where you understand the true value that's innate in you, that's inside you. So when you hear Kim's resume, you hear the wonderful things that she's been able to do for big personalities like Steve Harvey, to what she does that other people don't even know that she does just locally, and what she does for her community. It lets you know we are all in the same boat. We have to overcome that fear, or just realize you do have something to say. Somebody values what you have to say, no matter who you are. Somebody will value that. Do you attest to that? You believe in that, Miss Kim?
I absolutely believe in it, but I think when you're in it and when you're being your authentic self, and I try to have humble confidence where I'm very humble, but I'm very confident. And that has been a struggle for me, which you'll read about in the book. I think you're so in it that you don't really realize how many lives you touch, or that people really come to you for word, mentoring, and you don't realize it until you keep hearing it over and over again. And I've had people come to me or run into me and say, you remember when you told me this, this, and this? Well, I did it, and now this, this, and this has happened. And you go, I don't remember that conversation, but okay. So I think a lot of it is, some of it is fear, and you do think, and I will give you a funny note, is like when we were doing the pre-orders for the book and it was time for me to press send, I had all the verbiage, the book cover had been done, all of those things, and it was time for me to now post it on my Facebook and on my social media. It took me like 24 hours to garner up the finger to press the button, because again, it was like, oh my God, I'm really gonna do this. Will people think I really have a story? And then I snapped back to myself and said, well, I don't give a damn what people think. But it took me a minute. It took me like 24 hours to go, wait, I forgot. I don't give a damn what people think. Okay, fine. And it's not for everybody, and this is my story. It's my journey. It has nothing to do with anybody else. So that's the way I looked at it. And it was like, when I realized that this is my story, nobody can tell my story like me. So then it became a lot easier for me to go along with the promotional part of it.
I love that. I love that. And those are some great gems. Those are some nuggets. Y'all make sure y'all pick up those nuggets that Miss Kim just laid out for y'all, because no matter who you are, you have to get to that I don't give a damn stage. I really mean that sincerely. You have to get to that point. I tell people, I've got to the point that even with my last book, I knew that it was an error somewhere. And I just to let them know that I don't give a damn about it, I left it in there anyway. Because the reason why I put that out there that way is because you got to overcome that thought, what somebody's going to say about it. People are not worried about that. They're buying you. They buy what you have overcome. They want something real. They want somebody who's able to tell them something that they can identify with and it can help them. They're not caught up in all the super polished, superficial stuff. Sometimes. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you need to have a book with a bunch of errors. So
I would be horrified. That would make, because obviously in my line of work, it's like typos and seeing stuff like that would make me crazy. I would want to rescind all the books.
That's it.
I had a friend who did a cookbook, and I think the word Vermont was spelled wrong or something. 7,000 books have been put out into the universe, and their name actually had 2 T's, but it had 1 T in it. It's some part of the book, but what are you gonna do? It's like they're out. Something like that would drive me crazy.
Yeah, that would drive me crazy. If I didn't get my name right, now come on.
Yeah, that would drive me crazy.
You gotta have some kind of stuff. At least spell your name right on your own.
Spell my name right. Yeah, exactly. This was a big publishing company too. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. But I tell women a lot that when you reach the age of 40, you really don't give a damn. By 40, in your 20s, you're a people pleaser. In your 30s, you're still trying to figure it out. And you're still on that somewhat, I'm just trying to get my profession together, and I'm still a people pleaser to a certain degree. But really, when you turn 40, as a woman, it's like this little switch comes on, and I don't give a damn switch. It really starts. And then by the time, you move on up and get into your 50s, you really don't give a damn. Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna make this I don't give a damn episode. That might be the next book. That might be the next book. I don't give a damn. Y'all heard it here first on the Author Spotlight, baby. And I just think about now, you are a wonderful wife and mother. You got so many things that you do. How in the world, I know people are thinking this, how in the world does this woman create content? Some people think, hell, I'm suffering trying to get a paragraph done, and here she is with all the stuff she's juggling, and she still was able to create content. If you could just share with us Ms. Gagné, how do you create content? Is it like in the morning, evening? Do you block all time? What is your secret?
Well, I will say, and I'm not just saying this, but your starter guide really, because when I thought about it, it was overwhelming. It was really overwhelming. And then you sent me the starter guide. And the starter guide was so simple. And it was like, okay, even a monkey can do this. So I really followed the starter guide. I wrote out the paragraphs. I came up with the title. And we did a couple of titles. And then we nailed down the title, but coming up with the chapters. And once you had the chapters and I knew what each chapter was going to be about, then from there it was on. And then once I sat down, it really just started flowing. And so for me, it's really late at night when the house is quiet, when I really start getting into it. And I have talked about stuff that wasn't even supposed to be in the book, but it finds its way in there anyway. So, but I have passed on the starter guide to like 3 other people. 3 people, a chef who wanted to write a book but not a cookbook, a legendary athlete who has a memoir that they want to do, but again, didn't know how to get started. So I said, look, you don't have to use this publishing company, but this starter guide will absolutely get you organized. And for a lot of us, I think when you think about writing a book, the big part of it is organization and thoughts and how to get it organized on paper. And once you get it organized on paper and you block out your chapters and do all of that, you can go. You can really go.
You know, and that's a great thing to think about, because you realize you got the foundation of the starter's guide, okay? And it simplifies the process. But I just want to know this too. I don't know if it's your background for us in journalism or whatnot, but what made you actually believe that you could write a book? Because that's a stumbling block, especially for some women. It's for men too, but I run into so many women that even though they know that they might have a story, believing that they can get it done in a book form sometimes seems too daunting, that they don't think that they can overcome that. What made you just actually believe that you could really go ahead and do it, Miss Kim, when she was trying to get your mind made up?
I'm going to be honest with you. Over the past year, and this is so bad to say, and it sounds really bad and petty or whatever, I don't know, but again, I don't give a damn. But yeah, I started to see people, or I would run across books in bookstores, or I would run across people who I knew, some well, some better than others, and they would have books that they had written, and like, it would seem like it was like 30 pages and 10 of the pages were like this workbook, or it had just nothing. It was just spaces for you to work out whatever you're supposed to work out. And I'm thinking, this person wrote a book. Half of the book is worksheets that are blank sheets of paper. And they got people lined up to buy this. I'm like, well, I really got something to say. So if they can do it, I really can do it. And that really was kind of my motivation. It was seeing books around, and it wasn't that these people didn't deserve to be authors. It wasn't that they didn't have a story, but I was looking at the content and what was in the book, and I said, no, you can write a book.
That's it. And that's I'm glad that you shared that, Ms. Gagné, because for those out there who it don't take all of that to write a book, and you can look to yourself. And this is one thing that I just want to applaud you for, Ms. Gagné, is that some people would have seen that and would have just thought to themselves, oh, well, that person, that's trash, or I ain't gonna worry about that. No, hey, they got a line. So somebody want what they have. And so the key to is for those who are listening out there, basically don't sit on your assets talking about everybody else's book or whatever they're doing, but you don't have nothing out there. Yeah. You're super deep. And I run across some people, well, I got 4 books done. Oh, is it out? No, but it's on my laptop. That don't count, man. You know, you think you super deep, you know, and just like those certain musicians, you know, and I'm not talking, I don't want, with certain speakers, you'll go to a Toastmaster. I'm not picking on Toastmaster. I'm just using this as an example. You'll go to a Toastmasters event and speak, but you won't go get paid and speak. Or you're a position, you playing for free. But if it's time to get paid to get to play, you say, well, I don't want them to try to take away my artistic value, and I want to be free. And you
no, that's bullshit. Can we say bullshit on podcast?
Yeah, you can say.
I think a lot of that is self-worth. I think a lot of that is undervaluing who you are and what your self-worth is. And I think a lot of people will, oh my God, I have had to do a whole mind adjustment coming back home to Houston and the value of my services. Because when you're in LA, New York, Chicago, and you're in a certain business, people understand how much you charge, why you charge it, and they have no problem with it because it is what it is. But when you come, like I've been home, and it's like people just don't understand PR, they don't understand marketing, and they don't understand what they're paying for, how they're paying for it. And it just became a whole thing for me to try to have to wrap my brain around getting clients and people coming in and understanding what it is I do and what it is they're paying for. Yeah, but I think a lot of it, when you tell yourself that you don't deserve to be paid for what you do, that is crazy. Now, if you want to be on a street corner and you want to play music for dimes, that's your business. But I don't think anybody should undervalue their worth. And I have told people I'm not leaving my driveway for that amount of money because it's just not worth it to me. So,
and know your worth. Know your worth. Especially,
know your worth.
Hey, men, and especially for the ladies out there.
Especially the women.
Your word.
Know exactly.
Precious. Know that you are a gem. Don't let nobody fool you and you into believing that you ain't worthy.
Exactly.
And that's something that I'm glad about. And this book is going to really help you to understand who you are and what you can become. You don't have to be a product of your environment. You don't have to let a relationship that didn't go right, that you ain't gonna never be nothing or something like that take away from you. And Ms. Kim, with the book coming out, as far as, could you share with us what has been your experience as far as what others have shared to you about their thoughts with them seeing you doing the book? Could you share a little bit about that? Oh,
yeah. Everybody has been really, really positive about the book, congratulating me. Got a lot of pre-orders. So I've gotten nothing but positive energy. That people are just can't wait to read it. They're curious about what's going to be in it. So I've had nothing but positivity and light. Anybody who wasn't positive, all the haters apparently stayed away. So that's always good. Yeah.
Real good thing. And I just wanted to ask you this, Ms. Kim, what is your goal with the book? What do you hope to do with the book when it's out to the masses? If it can accomplish something for you, what are you looking at doing with the book?
Well, I never really thought, like I said, I never really thought about writing the book. I never thought about having an author as a title. So when the book does come out, I think that'll be great. For selfish reasons, I believe it's great to be on my website. It'll help me when I'm doing my speaking engagements because it's one more thing that, shows that I have depth in what I do. So I think that'll be great. And also, I think really it's kind of what you said. It's like not letting anybody steal your power. And I went through a real crisis of confidence, in this business, which happens a lot. And I think I was able to mask it, but it really came at a cost for me. And so I really talk about that a lot. And I think for a young girl in the business who starts out, she's at a TV station, she's in college, she's about to go to a TV station, she's trying to get her first job, just so she can see that she's not going to be alone, that when she feels these feelings, they're real. Somebody else actually felt the same way before her. So for that, I'm really excited. I'm excited for the young girl. I'm excited for my 25-year-old self to have this book.
Ooh, see that? So y'all gotta get the book. Did y'all hear that right there? That got me ready to go read something right now. I'm about to pick up something right now and start reading, Miss Kim. I mean, that's good right there. Now you see how she hit this? That's the talent that she has, and I'm just so glad that she's putting this out. And me personally being able to watch this and watch the move, and just whenever you go somewhere, I was just had the the pleasure of being in her presence at an event, people just were gravitating to her. Like, I'm like, man, I don't know how it is with, Beyonce or Jay-Z or something, but I mean, she couldn't hardly move at the event. Every time she tried to make 2 steps, and I know she had been gone, she was kind of weary, she trying to support her husband at the event, and I mean, people just question, she just knocking it out. Just boom, do this, boom, 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 boom. And so with this book, I know it's going to be beneficial for so many people.
So many people, yeah.
And Miss Kim, before we get out of here, because I want to respect your time, could you speak to that young lady out there, though, who might be thinking, you know what, I see all that Miss Kim has accomplished. I want to write a book. I want to share my story, but don't feel like they're worthy. Don't feel like that they have accomplished enough. They're not Steve Harvey. They're not Oprah Winfrey yet. And some people think they got to get over the mountaintop first before they share something, but they might have a story for where they are right now. So could you just share to that young lady out there who might be wondering, should she share her story in the book form? Could you speak to her right now, the reports are going forward?
Well, there are a lot of, and it doesn't have to be an autobiography or anything like that, but a lot of storytellers are out there. There are a lot of women who have novels in them. There are a lot of women who have books in them. And so don't think it has to be like like my story, but it could be the story you love writing. You love telling stories. You have a story in you. You have a character. You have 5 or 6 characters. You've already seen this book. You already know how it looks, but you just haven't done it. So what I'm saying to you is it doesn't have to be a memoir. It doesn't have to be an autobiography. It can be a novel. So think of it that way. It's not just a book about somebody's life or your life. If you're 22 and go, well, I ain't really lived a life, but you're in college, you like to write, and you have this story about a villain, and you have a story about a superhero, and you already have this book in your head, then that's a book. So books come in all different types. So don't think you got to latch on to what I'm doing. There could be a book in you some other type of way. But it could be a cookbook. Okay, it could be a cookbook. It could be, like I said, a novel. So just know it could be a series, and it could be what's that lady, J.K. Rowling, who did a series. So, and she's very rich now, by the way.
Oh yes, oh yes.
So I'm just saying, a book doesn't have to just be, I'm 22, I don't have any experiences. A book can be something that you've thought of since you were 11. And you've had this superhero, the villain, all of this stuff in your head. Now's the time to write a book. Yeah. Oh,
thank you so much. I mean, that is great information right there. And also, I just want to just throw a little whipped cream on top of what she just told us. And that's even if it's a poetry. I know a lot of women out there write poetry.
Yes.
Poetry in the book form. You can have your poetry. I know people who knock it out of the park with a quote book. It's not even their quotes.
Yes.
Let me show you what can happen. You can put a book together of your favorite quotes and put that together, and now you're off.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so many ways, like Ms. Kim.
There's so many ways to do something. A book of quotes is awesome as an encouragement. A book of quotes with a calendar. So
that's it.
You get a different quote, from somebody, and it's in a calendar form, and they're good at designing maybe, and they design this amazing affirmation book and calendar, and they pull in the quotes. So I'm just saying, it doesn't have to come like you think it's coming. It can come in different forms. Like you said, poetry. Spoken word is amazing. And you see all those spoken word artists with their notebooks, write their original poems. Yep. Those are all book worthy.
Y'all heard it here first from Miss Kim Gagné, teaching y'all how to win, baby, how to win. Y'all make sure that y'all go pick up the book at howtowinbook.org, howtowinbook.org. But Miss Kim, I want to thank you once again for taking time out of your schedule, and thank you for adding value to our audience today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I thank you guys. I really appreciate you for having me, and we'll talk soon.
Anytime. Remember, this is the year for your new book. And remember, if you won't change, be the change. I'll holler at you.